Whenever a new Payday game comes out, the first question I always ask myself is, how am I going to get rich this time? And with quite a few mechanics changing in Payday 3, that answer isn't always the easiest to come by. Do you want to spam bank heists for the large payout, hit jewelry stores repeatedly with hit and run tactics, or is there some crazy mechanic like Crime Spree to circumvent it all? Well, in Payday 3 at launch, the answer is staring us right in the face at the moment, as there's only one heist that can pay out up to 1 million spending cash that consistently takes less than 10 minutes to complete, and that is Xiaoyu's Road Rage heist. Yep, the armoured transport escort mission that I initially thought would be quite challenging to complete due to its hectic spawn logic is the easiest way to farm money in Payday 3 in my opinion. Here's a quick guide to shooting your way through the heist in around 7 minutes with the right team. First of all, cash earned on a heist is dictated by the difficulty you play it on, with Road Rage on very hard paying out around $800,000 maximum and just over 1 million on Overkill. You might be daunted by the extra difficulty Overkill offers, but in all honesty, if you have the strategy down on this one, it's well worth it for the extra 200,000 per run. If not, don't be embarrassed by running this one down on very hard, especially if you're playing solo, as the bag movement can be brutal, but do know the whole process will be slower. First up, ideally you'd be running this with a team, as crew AI can be a little silly on Overkill difficulty. You're also going to want to memorise the spawn locations of all the potential transport roadblocks to get most of them out of the way before you EMP the van. This setup phase will make your life a whole lot easier, and is why your first and second attempt at this heist is going to feel like a massive jump down in difficulty. Once the van is EMP'd and you have control of it, the first thing I like to do is grab a civilian and walk backwards with the van. You can also look to pick enemies off quickly with a longer range weapon here, but I think it's just easier to conserve resources at this stage of the heist, and the Civ mechanic is quite useful for that. Once the spawn intensity gets a little too much for you though, you can drop the Civ and just start clearing the area around the van. In total, if you've set up correctly, it'll take about 2 minutes to get the van to the platform. From there, you just need to drill your way in, as this area is quite nicely defensible. This won't take long, allowing you to get inside the armoured transport and start picklocking the lockboxes. If you're doing this solo, you're going to want the Quick Fingers skill equipped to speed this up massively. As soon as you found a few materials, you need to grab them to trigger bile spawn. I've also noticed that if you've timed everything right on this heist, this is generally when the assault will end, giving you the space to start moving the bags uncontested. Shade will either say bile is spawning on the north side, which is opposite the buildings on the right side of the bridge as you face away from the van, or the south, which is opposite the chimneys to the left. You're going to want to move the loot and set up at the scaffolding on either side, as this is pretty much the point at which you'll be home free. I found the final all-out assault once you secure the loot really isn't that bad, as you're often halfway down the road before anything truly dangerous spawns in. Even the snipers shouldn't be too much of an issue, as they need to have line of sight on the target for an extended period before they fire their shot, and it seems that going into and out of cover resets their shooting timer. If you have an efficient team, it's possible to sub 7 minute this one, earning you $1,046,010 if you don't shoot any civs. That's $150,000 per minute, or almost 9 million per hour, which is pretty efficient farming, especially if you want to access those really powerful $20 million preset weapons like the VF7S. That is essentially it for this tutorial. There's nothing more complicated than that. I'll leave you with a little bit of Reinfeld sniper gameplay, as this weapon really surprised me. Let me know if anyone's found a more efficient cash per minute heist or strategy, as I'm still keen to learn, but for right now, especially if you have a decent squad, it seems like the Road Rage speedrun is going to be your best bet for consistent money farming in Payday 3. Stick around on the channel, I'll be sharing how to best farm for weapon and skill experience shortly, and eventually I'll work out how to power level, but truth be told, that could be a long time coming, as I'm still not even close to Infamy 100 myself. Take care, enjoy Payday 3, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. A huge thank you to my dedicated Patreon backers. If you want to join this crew in going infamous, check out the link below and pledge as little as $2 to see your name in the credits, or get 24-hour early access to future videos and vote on upcoming content. Take care, I'll see you all soon.